Alrighty, I believe we are all the way live. Hello and welcome to my graveyard. I am your host of the evening, the Cemetery Man from Salem, Mass. Always taking names and kicking candy ass. Live in the color here with you on Grande's Graveyard. Oh yeah, ladies and gents, we're here in the flesh, baby. We are chilling like villains, like Bob Dylan's on this fine Thursday night, Thursday evening. How we doing, everybody? I see that my boy, the horror boy, is here. 1-2 Grande's coming for you. I'm not quite Freddy Krueger, but who knows? Maybe someday. Maybe someday I can aspire to be that cool. Aiden Vapper's in the Heezy. What's going on, good brother? Hope all is well with you. So those two good brothers are in the chat already, and before I even went live, so that's really cool. And yeah, Grande, I'm here, man. I'm in the flesh. I started a little bit later tonight, but I don't know if you're off. I don't know if you're watching me from work, but whatever, man. I do appreciate the support as always. Nate is the man. And Aiden's watching the original It from 1990. Hell yeah, man. Tim Curry is the GOAT, man. I will never, ever, ever put those remakes over because they just don't hold the candle to the first half of that miniseries, especially. I am a huge mark of the original It, especially the first half. I think that first half is like one of the best Stephen King adaptations ever. And it's amazing how good that kid cast was, man. They were freaking awesome. I love Seth Green. I love, of course, Jonathan Brandis. May he rest in peace. He was really, really good in that movie. And I don't know the actor's name, but I liked the actor that played Ben. I thought he did a really, really good job. So I really, really like that miniseries. Yeah, I'm in the flesh. I'm here. Yeah, I use some PTO. I'll be here the whole ride. God bless, brother Nate, because I know I'm talking about one movie that you absolutely adore on this, and that's going to be the first one up. So I'm super excited about that. I hope everybody's doing well on this fine evening. It's been a really, I'll be honest, it's been a hectic week for me. I'm kind of been really looking forward to talking horror on the graveyard. It's just been really busy at work, really busy and all that stuff. But you know what? We're here, we're live, we're in living color. We're talking all things horror, all things video nasty goodness, and man, I'm excited to do so. So it's also nice to get back to the classic formula after doing the commentaries the last couple weeks. It's honestly like kind of refreshing to just be shooting the shit while not watching something. Instead, I would do the old school. I watched something and now I'm going to talk about it. So that is what it is. So basically, before I get into these, I wanted to discuss why exactly I came up with this show idea because I'm always trying to keep it a little bit more fresh, always trying to keep people on their toes and stuff like that. So I said, hey, man, why don't I talk about two awesome movies from the Video Nasties list and discuss why I like them? And I tried to pick as two different ones as I could. And the two that I ended up picking were none other than these two. Of course, first up, we're going to be talking about 1978's I Spit on Your Grave, directed by Miyazaki. This is a really awesome movie, and I apparently a really hard Blu-ray to find. I got this on eBay used, and it's in great fucking shape, so it's pretty cool. And of course, the other a really underrated film, a film that more people need to fucking see. And there needs to be a better goddamn edition of this. Arrow, Shout Factory, Severin, I'm talking to all you people. You need to fucking put out a release of this. Michael Felsher, what are you doing, brother? You got to put this out on, a better Blu-ray that's not limited to 2,000 units. I'm talking about Possession from 1981. This is the Japanese import of it. Oh yeah, it's all Japanese on the back, if you can see that. So, the movie plays in English and all that good stuff, but unfortunately, this is, kind of a crappy release. It doesn't have the best picture quality, and I would kill to get a nice edition Blu-ray of this, but it goes for stupid money, and you pretty much have to buy it from a third-party seller, and I don't know, I'm just not into that at all personally, man. What's up, good brother? Hope all is well, Ryan. What's going on, my friend? You ready to hear some video nasty talk? I know I am. I'm fucking stoked, man. But yeah, I wish there was a better edition of this out. I really do. We'll be discussing that in all its gory details. So here we go. We are going film number one. We're going to dive right in. I hope you all got your soda pop, as my good friend the horror boy would say. Get your soda pop in one hand and your chicken quesadillas in the other, because the pajama pants player is ready to play. It's ready It's Grande's graveyard time. So let's do it, ladies and gents. Let's get it on the road. First and foremost, of course, we're going to read the good old plot synopsis. This is not, neither one of these on IMDb gave me the greatest plot synopsises, but I mean, I guess it is what it is. An aspiring writer is repeatedly gang raped, humiliated, and left for dead by four men whom she systematically hunts down to seek revenge on their bloody carcasses. No, that's not in the plot synopsis, though. But it is 1978's I Spit on Your Grave, aka Day of the Woman. That was actually the original title of this. They released it as Day of the Woman, and the movie was an ultimate bomb in the box office. And then one of the producers had the bright idea to say, hey, why don't we change the title? Maybe the title's why it's bombing, because what people forget is the original Last House on the Left, when it was released as, I think, Sex Crime of the Century. And it did shitty numbers until it was changed to Last House on the Left, until it was changed to keep telling yourself it's only a movie, it's only a movie, it's only a movie. And this movie, once they changed the title to I Spit on Your Grave, it sold like hotcakes. It sold like Nintendo Wii Switches. It just sold like crazy. And I love this movie. I think this is a great exploitation horror film from the late 70s. And I think this is one of the quintessential video nasties. Like this and I Spit on Your Grave are definitely, when it comes to the gritty exploitation, rape, revenge films, the two that really stand out. I would also throw They Call Her One Eye in there. Of course, that's not a video nasty, but I think that is one of the most quintessential revenge rape movies of all time. I absolutely love They Call Her One Eye. I did a whole episode on that one film, so that tells you how much I really love it. But this film right here, I think this is an excellent movie. It basically stars Camille Keaton, and of course, she's the aspiring writer. She goes up to this kind of low key cabin in the woods, and she meets the grocery boy. He's a little bit slow, and she gets the groceries from him. He goes back to town telling all these people about this hot woman that's up in the cabin, and they basically kind of overstretch everything and say, hey man, we want to get this slow guy raped. Not slow guy raped, no, they want to get this slow guy some pussy. So they go up there and decide we're going to rape Camille Keaton. And it really is one of the most horrific scenes in the history of horror movies, because this rape scene, it's not 10 minutes, it's not 20 minutes, it's about a half hour of the fucking film. I've never sat and timed it, but it's well over 20 minutes. It has to be. It is absolutely horrific to watch because of how, obviously, how uncomfortable it is to watch somebody getting raped, and repeatedly. And it's almost like they take breaks in between. Like one character goes, then she'll be walking through the forest looking all sad and dirty and disgusted, and then she'll get attacked again. You're like, holy shit, like when is this gonna fucking end, man? It's actually fucking terrifying. And you're just like, really, you feel for this character, you feel for Camille Keaton, you're like heartbroken for her. And how they do it, man, it really does make you hate these lead villains, these lead bad guys, so goddamn much. You really want them to get their just desserts in the end, and thankfully they do. That scene though, I remember, I'll never forget the first time I watched this. I think this was on, believe it, on Netflix, like years and years and years ago. I watched it, and I remember after that scene, I paused it and I took a break from the film. I walked away from the television. I was like, dude, like I need to take a fucking break right now, because that was a lot to, kind of absorb in such a short period of time. And what I loved was that that was so effective as a viewer for me. Like I was disgusted in watching it. So imagine how disgusted they must have been with filming it. With I couldn't imagine the cinematographer's disgust of this film. Go shoot this angle of the rape. Go shoot that angle of it. I mean, that's not going to be a fun job, but you have to capture that horror. And man, they really do. I think it's absolutely terrifying. And I thought the director Miyazaki did a really, really good job with this. It's a shame he didn't do more films. I know he did Don't Mess With My Sister, which is a piece of shit from the 80s, but I know he also did the I Spit on Your Grave Deja Vu, which I think is monumentally one of the most hated movies of, I don't know if it came out late last year or early this year, but I know it's one of the most hated horror movies of latter, few years. Uh, Ryan says hello to AJ. Oh, AJ's here. I missed it. I missed AJ's comment. Oh, okay. I see AJ's comment now. Ryan, yeah, what's going on, AJ? How are you, good brother? And the Soulless Trench Coat is here. Ooh, this is a new name. I haven't seen you. Good cheers to you, my friend. Thank you for supporting. Yeah, this is a great movie. It is a hard watch though, and that's almost the point, you know. And I think that's why this movie really does work. I think it is a hard movie to watch, but I think that is the intention. Obviously, rape, exploitation, revenge, gore, dick chopping off, which happens in this movie. All that stuff is very hard to watch, but I mean, that's horror at its finest. It's really gritty, it's really raw, and that's what great exploitation horror films do. And I always loved the little tagline over here. You probably won't be able to see it. I also, by the way, this one won the poll on Instagram. I'm wearing the shirt here. This is the Astra video. I spit on your grave. I love this shirt. I got it from Rabbit and Red. It's a United Kingdom t-shirt company. They do an awesome job with their stuff. But I always love the little tagline: "This woman has just chopped, crippled, and mutilated four men beyond recognition, but no jury in America would ever convict her." I absolutely love that. It's such a fun tagline. And I think on this shirt they add like burned, like they add all these sorts of, verbs and describing words of what she's going to do to them. And man, that's what I think late 70s grindhouse drive-in movies were. They were, of course you got your boobs, your blood, the promise of mayhem, but when you get to movies like this and movies like The Hills Have Eyes, the horror on the screen is just so challenging to watch. I'm just like, Jesus Christ. And obviously, that's what they're going for. But man, I think that the director really hit this out of the park. There's some I can run through some scenes in this. I absolutely love the scene where she, like the lead guy, actually, she kind of seduces him to come back, and I really liked it. And you don't have to force me and all this stuff. And they're talking, and she at one point grabs a gun and points it at him. She's like, "Strip down," and he starts stripping down, and he says to her, he goes, "You women are all the same." And she's like, "What the hell? You have the gall to blame me for what you did to me?" And he goes, "You know what? Yeah." He goes, "You pulled up to me getting gas, showing off those sexy legs, and you answered the door for Matthew, was the slow character. You're just a fucking fish, man. You're just laying in the boat in your bikini like a fucking piece of bait." And I love that there's no response to that. He goes on and on and on, blaming her for the crimes and the rape that he committed, saying that all women are the same. And I think that's a really interesting thing to tap into psychology. Is that the psychology of a rapist? Is a rapist saying, "You're provoking me because you are wearing something revealing. You're provoking me because you're so gorgeous and you flaunt it and you know it." And for a minute, it's like Jennifer almost thinks, maybe I could be it. And she doesn't say a damn word. She drops the gun and starts rubbing his face. And I'm like, wow. Like, again, it could be psychological. It could just be, reverse psychology, where she's just like, let me really get him to think, let me really butter him up. Right. And that might be exactly what that is. But I thought in that scene, in that moment, it almost looks like she even thought he made a good point. And I always thought that was a pretty horrific scene, just the psychology behind that. And of course, she gets that son of a gun in the tub, all bubbled. Mr. Bubbles is going, a handy under the fucking water is going. And I love this guy's dialogue. He's like, "Oh man, you got magic fucking hands. You got the magic fucking stroke." Next thing you know, she grabs a knife from underneath the towel and she goes underneath the water of it. And he's just like, oh, yeah, he's enjoying all his glory. He's enjoying the fuck out of this hand job. And next thing you know, she cuts his dick off. And for a minute, for a good few seconds, he doesn't sell it. Ooh, he goes, "Oh, it feels so good. It just fucking hurts." And he doesn't realize that she's chopped his dick off underneath the water until you see a little blood squib. It squirts out of the water. And it's the noise that the water makes when that happens. And his look of realization, of realizing, holy shit, she just chopped my dick off. He starts screaming and grabbing. They show pretty much everything. And he's screaming, "Look what she's done to me." He has a really funny, like over the top, like really like girlish scream. And I like, she locks him in there goes down to the living room and just throws on some classical music as she, kicks back, relaxed, throws up her feet. She's chilling like a fucking villain as this poor guy's bleeding to death out of his pee-pee hole in her bathtub. I mean, if that's not great horror, I don't know what is, ladies and gentlemen. I think that is just an awesome fucking scene. Of course, oh yeah, horror boy, that bathtub scene. Yo, every man can't watch. There's no man alive that can watch that scene and not fucking cringe every single time. It's just so goddamn effective, man. It's incredible. Yeah, it is fucked. I agree. Ryan says, I got to show you the blanket I got for my B-Day, dude. It's fucking badass. Dude, I didn't even know you had your birthdays recently. Happy birthday, man. Dude, yeah, and totally send it to me. I would love to see what it looks like. You can text it over to me, brother. That'd be awesome. Uh, AJ says, always reminded me of David Hess. Yeah, he does. That is definitely what they were going for. It is very much like I Spit on Your Grave. I mean, it is very much like Last House on the Left. Um, but I think this is a really good ripoff of Last House on the Left, if you will. It does have its own two legs behind it. I think this is a really good movie, and I think it does rival most rape revenge movies. I know AJ has the great story of this we talked about on an episode where he actually saw this in the theater with his parents when he was like a little kid. I couldn't fucking imagine that theater experience, like how uncomfortable that must have been. I mean, I hope that it was a cut version, but odds are it probably wasn't, man. That is an OD story. I absolutely love that, man. I wish I had a story as cool as that one. It's just awesome stuff. Yeah, it is a very brutal ass scene, man. It's what horror is all about. Yeah, amazing scene. I totally agree with all of you, man. It really is. That's one of the standouts of this movie. And I really like the scene where the special guy comes back and she kind of seduces him and he knows better. Of all four of these guys, isn't it funny that the slow one is the one that knows that she's full of shit about I want you, it's you I want, all this stuff. And she hangs him while he lets him she lets him fuck her. I'm sorry, that's a tongue twister and a half. And while he's doing that, she wraps a rope around his neck and hangs him. So the psychology there is obviously coming and going. Really fucking dark shit, man. Like that's like I couldn't imagine watching that with my parents, man. Yeah, probably traumatized my parents more than me. I don't know about that, dude. If I saw that shit with my parents, man, I don't know if I ever would have been the same again. Because I was never the same again seeing it by myself. So I couldn't imagine seeing it with Mama and Papa Grande. That would have been some crazy ass shit. I don't know. Maybe one of these movie nights, I'll throw this movie in and we could all watch it on the fucking 4K player. Why not, right? That would be some funny ass shit. But yeah, I always thought that was a cool, the coming and going and the way that she tricks him. I thought that was smart. And then I really liked how the last two guys they kind of pull up to her in a boat and she kind of being all seductive. She goes, oh well, it's you I want. And she kind of like bitch pushes him, almost mailboxes him into the fucking water. I absolutely love that scene. And she's circling around them. One of them swings an axe at her. He drops it into the boat, of course. And then she picks up the axe and then wham, right into one of the guy's backs as she's going. Very good special effect. One that they don't show much. You can see it's just a back cast, right? But it's the aftermath that's really, really brutal there. And you get the idea, all the blood surrounding that guy in the water as he sinks to the bottom. And then the last guy, he kind of swims up to the back where the motor is. And he goes, please, I'm really sorry. They pushed me into it and trying to be oh so baby face. That's not me. That's not me. And she just looks at him dead in the eyes and she goes, suck it, bitch. Pulls that rev, fucking chops him all into fucking pieces. And of course, Miss Camille Keaton, swims off into the sunset. I mean, that's just a great finale. It really is a fun finale. And it does promise that all the things that are on this poster. She does kick their asses. She does really, mutilate them. She fucking gets her revenge. And this is a movie that I will say, in the grand scheme of things, I know over time this hasn't aged the best. Like I know there are a lot of people that think this movie does not hold up anymore, and that's fine. You could totally think that. I can understand that point of view. But I don't think that you could really understate how important this was to the late 70s and saying that this is one of the most influential and most popular video nasties. I think that this is one of the most, popular video nasties of all time. It's definitely one of the ones that people know. And it's a movie that warranted a remake. And there were sequels to the remake. And there was a direct sequel to this. So this has somehow become a franchise out of nowhere. What I think about the franchise overall, I think the remake's solid. I hate the sequel to the remake, and believe it or not, the second sequel to the remake. I love I Spit on Your Grave 3 Vengeance is Mine. That's arguably my favorite one. It's almost as good as this, if not better. I love, love, love that one. Sarah Butler just steals that movie. She's fantastic. And then, of course, the direct sequel with Miyazaki and Camille Keaton. I will probably never fucking see it, man. I'm not into that shit at all. Some fun facts about this one before I move on. You know whose ass that is? You guys can take wild guesses. I would love to see the wild guesses as I read the comments. This is somebody famous's ass. It's not Camille Keaton. Let's see what's going on with the comments here. John watches Cannibal Ferox with the fam. Yo, why not, man? Titty hanging, dick chopping. I mean, Mama Grande eats up all that shit. Just sent it to you. Oh, okay. Let's see the blanket. I don't know if anybody else will be able to see it on the horror show. Oh man, this is sick. Wow. That's a really cool blanket, man. That is badass. I wish I could show it, but you'll never be able to really see with the glare. But man, it's pretty sweet. That's a cool ass blanket, man. That's awesome. Happy birthday again. John watches Hellraiser 2 with the fan. Yo, why not, man? Ashley Lawrence, little fucking Doug Bradley, little Hell, all that good stuff, man. This movie has its place in horror, and its inspiration story is crazy. Yeah, this is really one of the great horror movies of the late 70s. I think this is a great, great movie for sure. Hardboy guesses Jamie Lee Curtis. No, this is not JLC's ass. This is not. I couldn't believe this when I wrote this, when I saw this, I should say. You know whose ass this is? That's Demi Moore's ass. That is Demi Moore's ass. She actually confirmed it in an interview about a year ago. She said that that is exactly my ass. I filmed the poster for them. So young Demi Moore's ass is on my Blu-ray. Young Demi Moore's ass is on my shirt. I'm like a young Ashton Kutcher, like this is the punk years Ashton Kutcher, repping my hot cougar wife that I'm going to leave for Mila Kunis in a little bit, baby. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what it's all about. So yeah, I absolutely love. Yeah, man, that's Demi Moore. That is Demi Moore's donk, man. So fucking crazy. But yeah, you can find the interview where she does discuss it. I think that's just so absolutely mind-boggling that is Demi Moore. Like, it's an A-list star's ass. I mean, why not? I mean, that's the coolest thing in the world to me. I really love this movie. I think this is a great, awesome exploitation drive-in movie, great rape revenge movie, one of the quintessential video nasties in my opinion. I will come in at the rightful score of an 8 out of 10. I really, really do enjoy Miyazaki's I Spit on Your Grave. Absolute, absolute classic. So that is I Spit on Your Grave, and now diving a little bit into a video nasty that very few talk about, unfortunately. I do not know why that is. I know that I did the poll, right, for which shirt I wanted to wear, so I figured I'd show this shirt because I'm wearing the I Spit on Your Grave shirt, because Spit on Your Grave did win fair and square. But this is the Possession shirt. This is a fucking awesome shirt. I got it for like $10, believe it or not, and man, it is such a nice design. I absolutely love the shirt and I absolutely love the movie. So it was a full send buy for me. But this movie I think is criminally underrated, and I think people really deserve to give it more of a look. And I think maybe the reason for that is because there isn't really that great of a release in the United States of this one, unfortunately. I don't know why. I don't know if there's rights issues or, if the filmmaker is Polish, maybe he doesn't want to release I don't know what the deal is and why there isn't a really good region 1 edition of this that is cheaper, obviously, but it is from 1981. It is, getting this director's name right is going to be really hard. Andrzej Zulowski. It is Possession from 1981. One of my favorite video nasties, definitely in my top 10 video nasties. And it's funny, I Spit in Your Grave, as much as I love this film, I don't even know if this would make the top 10 because there are so many good, for as many bad nasties as there's so many good ones too. And I don't know. I Spit in Your Grave would definitely be on the cusp. It would be towards the lower, like maybe 11, 12, maybe even the number 10 slot. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll do a top 10 nasties list. But this one would definitely make the top 10. I adore this film. I think Possession is a really, really great horror movie. And I could read this plot synopsis as well. A young woman starts exhibiting increasingly disturbing behavior after asking her husband, who returned from war, for a divorce. Suspicions of infidelity soon give way to something much more sinister. Oh, yeah. Possession. This is one of my favorite horror movies. And I think that people really need to see this. And I could see in the comments a lot of people saying they haven't seen it. So I will do like a non-spoiler for most of it, and then at the end I'll say I'm gonna get into spoilers. So I won't spoil this for anybody. So you don't have to stop watching just yet. You don't have to tune me out just yet. But when I think of great horror movies for breakups, like, with the dramatic element in there, like this is a great horror breakup movie. And a lot of people scratch their heads, horror breakup movie? What the fuck are you talking about, pal? This is really it. And I think this is really the pioneer for horror breakup movie. It stars Sam Neill, who everybody knows from, of course, Jurassic Park, Event Horizon, really seasoned veteran actor. And I think giving one of the great horror movie performances of all time is Isabella Adjani. She does a wonderful job in this film, and she is a beautiful, beautiful actress. Just gorgeous, seductive eyes, and just a really plain girl next door look to her that really does attract you to her as this one goes on. Basically, like I was saying in the synopsis, Sam Neill comes home. He's a spy. He comes home and he goes to his wife, and he's so happy to see her and all this stuff. And she basically says, listen, like, some things happen while you're away. I don't want to get into it, but I want a divorce. I want away from you. I don't love you anymore. And Sam Neill's crushed by this. Sam Neill can't believe it. He's like, I just came back. I'm so giddy to see you, and you want to walk out the door? Not to mention that we have a kid, not to mention that I haven't seen you, not to mention you don't want to give a reason. And he's broken. He's broken by this. And a lot of the first like setup of the film is Sam Neill just laying there all sad and depressed and really missing Isabel Adjani's character. And I think right off the bat, we've all been there. We've all gone through bad breakups. We've all gone through that moment where we just couldn't understand why someone would walk out on us. And it's a horrible feeling to feel. But at the end of the day, it's something that we can all relate to, really. And I think that's what makes it so strong. And I think that's why the horror drives home. It's that fear of loss. And then it's the fear of, well, what did she leave me for? It's the paranoia that besets over somebody. And Sam Neill goes, oh, well, are you cheating on me? Do you just hate me? If you are cheating on me, is the person a better lover than you? And there are scenes where it's a great scene where the two of them are sitting at a cafe. One is sitting on the left side of the bench, the other is sitting on the other side of the bench, and they're both just staring directly forward. They're not looking at each other. It's that moment where you see that this hurts so badly for the both of them that they can't even look at each other. It's so hard for them to even acknowledge the existence of the other because of that pent up animosity, that pent up hate, that pent up raw evil emotion that you feel for somebody else that has left you. And it's so goddamn strongly delivered in this because I think both of their performances are absolutely wonderful. I think they do a great job. Nikor is here. Nikor, my good brother. How are you, my friend? Yo, I agree. Possession is a masterpiece. I know you're doing your Dawn of the Dead in a little bit. I cannot wait. I'll be done with this by then for sure. So I'll definitely stop by for a little bit. My ass is tired, but never too tired for some Nikor and Dawn of the Dead, of course, man. That I am super fucking stoked for that. I think that's tonight. Is it tonight or was it next week? I'm not sure. I thought it was tonight, but that is neither here nor there. I'm sure he will let me know. But yeah, man, I just right off the bat, I'm really into this movie. And I think that they really blur those lines of the bad breakup and how that stuff really does affect you. And I just think that was really smart thing to tackle because you don't really see that much in horror films. You see that in a romantic comedy, and then you get a montage, and then they get back together. And it's so, you've been there, you've seen that. And what this movie does is say, hey, man, you haven't seen this. You haven't seen anything like this. And it really is a very different film. And I like that they start off with that trope of the breakup. Then it moves on into where Sam Neill finds out that yes, she has cheated on him, and he wants to know what's up with this guy, who this guy is, right? They give you a red herring. His name is Heinrich. He is one of the funniest, greatest characters in the history of cinema. The actor, I don't know that I can look up the actor's name. He is so fucking funny in this movie. It's not even like you can't understate it. Heinz Bennett, dude, his performance in this is so fucking funny, man. You will die laughing at his performance. He's such a weird character. Like he's like very feminine, but he kicks ass. Like he kicks Sam Neill's ass at one point in this movie. Really fucking wacky ass character. Really fucking out there. I like his character. You think that it's him for a little while, and Sam Neill is like, this son of a bitch. I'm going to go over to his house, beat him up. That backfires. Of course, Sam Neill gets his ass kicked. And until one day where he finds out, he's like, wait a minute, you haven't been the one that's fucking her. Maybe for a while you were, but she's with somebody else right now. So he hires a PI to follow her. And the PI follows her home. And man, this scene, it's one of my favorite scenes in the history of horror movies because it is so fucking scary. This is where we'll get into a little bit of spoiler discussion. This PI follows Isabella Adjani home to this like apartment, right? And he barges in and he's walking around. It's a very like kind of grimy, stanky apartment. And he's walking around and he sees this mattress with something on it. We don't see at first what it is. Isabella Johnny's waiting behind him, and she says, "Oh, how are you, sir?" And she's like, "I noticed you were following me all the way home." And he's just like looking at her, and he doesn't say a word. He's just selling everything with his facial expressions. And what we see on the mattress is a Lovecraftian like fucking monster. And Isabella Johnny goes, "Be careful. You know, it's a little bit tired because we were making love all day." I remember the first time I saw this shit. I was laying down. It was maybe 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm watching this movie, and I'm like, all right, now this is interesting. When you see that fucking creature in the mattress, and she says, you know, take it easy on him, champ. You know, we've been making love all day. I fucking jumped up to my feet and I looked at this. I'm like, holy shit. She's fucking a Lovecraftian monster. She left Sam Neill for a Lovecraftian monster. And man, I was just mind fucked. I was like, holy shit, man. Grabs lotion. Yo, who the fuck wouldn't grab? Yeah, I got up to my feet. I grabbed the lotion, of course. I mean, who the fuck wouldn't, right? It is a crazy ass scene. Yeah, it's dope. It really is, man. Like the first time you see that, I mean, I was fucking stunned. I had no clue it was coming. I thought it was like, oh, it's gonna be some fucking preppy, muscular jock. Nope, Lovecraftian monster, and it's fucking horrifying looking. It has like these two red eyes and tentacles and shit. And man, it is fucking scary looking. Like I had nightmares, man. Like I will fully fucking admit that this movie gave me nightmares. That one scene alone, like imagining walking into on your ex, being like, who's this fucking guy you're fucking? Well, it's this Lovecraftian monster, and you better be nice to him, but he has been fucking me all day. I was like, what the fuck is going on, man? So goddamn scary. I was like, this is crazy. And it honestly only escalates from there. Sam Neill wonders what happens to the PI because obviously Isabella Adjani kills him. The PI has a lover, and this man goes to find him, and he gets killed. Then Heinrich goes up there, and obviously there are people getting picked off one by one. But where I think this film really does stand out, where I think this film really is strong, is the scenes between Sam Neill and Isabella Adjani. And there are scenes between the two of them where they discuss why they hate the other. And there's this scene where Isabella Adjani, she's at home making dinner, and Sam Neill goes into the kitchen to confront her, and he goes, you know, you're leaving not just me, but you're leaving that boy in there. You're leaving our son. How could you dare cook this dinner and not even think twice about that? You forget, it's one thing to leave me. I'm hurt. I'm broken about it. That's one thing. But to leave your child, you're a fucking horrible bitch. And he just really belittles her to the point where she turns around and she goes, you know what, you motherfucker? She takes this electric knife and starts fucking stabbing her arm. I was mind blown watching this. She's like, it's really like really strong acting and really it's over the top, but it's fantastic acting. So it's really, it's a oomph performance. There's a lot of oomph there, but man, they go for it here. She starts cutting her. She's like, what do you want me to do? Cutting her, and I'm just like, holy crap! And he's like, this is what I want you to do. He takes it and he cuts himself and yelling match, shouting, and the kids watching all of this. Now, I think that's again something else that it's a really smart theme to tackle because here is the child in between the fire of mother and father and their arguments and their hatred and their literal blood, their literal cuts, their literal wounds going at one another in the kitchen while the kid is watching. Again, that's another real life theme. I'm sure that in the midst of a divorce, there's nothing more horrifying for a child. I won't lie. My parents have been together, since I've been a kid, so I've never dealt with that. But I could only imagine the horror that a kid would have to envision and see between two people that are yelling at each other, cutting each other, literally dialing the breakup and divorce up to 11, right? It's not a peaceful, it's not a, bygones divorce. It's I'll fuck, you're a fucking bitch. No, you're a fucking dick. No, I'm going to cut myself. No, I'm going to cut myself. Like, it's actually fucking really crazy the levels that they are able to reach in this film. And you really do feel for the kid. Now, there are also some really trippy scenes between Sam Neill and the boy's teacher. He drops the kid off for school, and the teacher is literally identical to his wife with different colored eyes. He goes, "What do you?" He walks up to her. He goes, "Is this some kind of sick joke?" And she goes, "I don't understand what you mean." The actress playing the teacher is Isabella Adjani with different colored eye contacts in, of course. And he almost, I think this, what I interpreted from this was, this is the version of his wife he wants to see, the school teacher version of his wife, where, I take care of kids. I'm nice all the time. I'm there for my husband. I'm not going to just walk out the door. I looked at it like through that lens. It's very much up to your interpretation. That's why I really like this film. There's really not much that's concrete about it. And we'll get into the finale and my interpretations of that. But I think that scene alone, it's almost like him going, this is what it could be, but this woman wants to do all these other things, and that's so heartbreaking because again, we've all been there. Maybe not with someone that we were married to, but with a girl that maybe we dated, or for the lady listeners, for a guy that you dated. I think it's absolutely incredible because there are times where you probably just sit back and go, this could be us, but you're a fucking bitch. Like, just to put it a little bluntly, but that's really the motion that it drives out of you. And you're like, why can't this just work? And the answer is sometimes things just suck. And that's the reality of it. And that's what's so horrifying about this movie. It's the reality of a fucked up breakup. And I think that it's so well done here, man. It really is well done. I think the director did an excellent job. Of course, probably the best scene in this movie, Isabella Adjani, she's talking about, when she first started sleeping with the monster to Sam Neill. And she says, he got me pregnant. And he's like, really? And she says, well, it didn't last. And you're like, what? She's basically saying she had a miscarriage of this monster's child. She's coming home from work, getting off the subway, and she gets this news. She, for about 3.5 minutes, goes fucking ape shit, batshit crazy. She starts fucking throwing herself into the wall, throwing herself on the ground, throwing the groceries, throwing her bag, screaming like a chimpanzee. I am not even kidding you. That's how crazy the scene is. It is one of the best horror movie scenes of all time as Isabella Adjani slowly just loses it. It's that moment that we can watch as a viewer and just go, this is me on the worst day of my life. This is anybody and everybody on the worst day of their life getting that horrible news. And as the scene ends, she gets on her knees, and it's this wonderful shot here that's on this t-shirt. She gets up, she's spitting up stuff, and there's like all this goo oozing out from her. It's one half is red, one half is green. I think signifying that the blood and the green is the blood of the monster, red is the blood of the woman. It kind of mixes together underneath her as she screams one final last gasp, and that scene ends. And man, there are a few moments in cinema where I could say that's perfection. That's not only just great acting by this actress, but the way it was all done, and the depths that she probably had to go to reach that state of paranoia, of craziness. My hat's off to her. I think she should have been nominated for an Oscar. I do believe she won Best Actress at the Cannes Film Festival for this movie, and she really did deserve it. Unfortunately, this movie did cause her in real life to take therapy because this film fucked her up that much. She was psychologically not okay or the same person after the completion of this film. So she took I think she took a few years off, 2 or 3 years off, or she took the therapy sessions and still worked. So she really gave her heart, soul, and I think her mind to this performance. And I think she did a really great job. Isabella Adjani's performance is honestly one of the best things you will ever watch in any horror movie because she really does nail it. And Nigor says, yeah, I agree with you, brother. Perfection. It really is perfection because we can all relate to that worst day we've ever had in our life. And that is the emotion that we want to come out of us. It's literally all of that pent up animosity and disappointment and all that stuff oozing out of our orifices. Very deep stuff. Very deep stuff. I know a lot of people that will probably be like, that sounds fucking deep for me, man. But it goes there. And I like that it goes there. I think it's wonderfully told. And I think it's wonderfully painted for us to kind of figure out. That scene is just one of my favorites of all time. It's every time I watch it, it's never ceases to amaze me and it never ceases to impress me. I think that scene from a direction standpoint and from especially from an acting standpoint, it is just hit out of the park, man. It's one of the best ever. And then, of course, we move on from that. You get a lot of crazy killings in this movie, and we move towards a finale that I think it's a wacky ass finale. I'll be honest. I think the finale is it's very unpredictable. That's definitely for sure. You learn that Sam Neill is basically. This is so hard to explain. Like I am going to get into major spoilers here. This is the very finale, so I can understand if you guys don't want to, get it spoiled. I completely understand. Sam Neill finds out that the monster she's been fucking is actually now turned into a doppelganger of himself because what she saw this monster as was the perfect version of him. In similar vein to how he sees the school teacher as the perfect version of her, she sees this Lovecraftian monster as the perfect version of him that she wants to live happily ever after with. Really fucking scary, dark, crazy shit. But I think it's fucking great. Like she confronts Sam Neill about it on this like spiral staircase. And she's like, listen, I want to spend the rest of my life with him. You need to go. Like, I don't care how it is. I don't care if you jump off this staircase. I don't care if the police come in and gun you down right now. I don't want anything to do with you anymore. I want to live with him. And basically, Sam Neill looks down and just in shock. And he basically comes to the realization of that's not happening. I would rather die than see you, than see you go on and live with this guy. So basically, he kills her, shoots her, and then sees that he's going to get arrested for it. So he takes a leap of faith off the spiral staircase and crashes down Jeff Hardy style. And then, of course, you see the doppelganger get out through the roof, and there's this kind of interesting closing shot of you see his silhouette, knocking on the door, and the kid is waiting to answer the door. So you're thinking maybe the doppelganger is going to get this kid, and the film ends. Now, I just think, as wild as a finale as that is, I think this movie covers every single base that a good horror movie should cover. Right off the bat, the psychology of this movie, the psychology of being, and people, the thing about this movie too, the title. Everybody assumes you hear that title, you go, oh, a demon movie. I don't want to see that. It's possession. Is it the devil? Is it priests involved? People hear that title and they groan. I know that. But This title is not anything to do with that. There is no demonic possession in this movie. The possession is almost a metaphor for the possession that you feel that one person may have over you in a bad relationship. See, Isabella Adjani felt that Sam Neill's possession was too much, was too uncomfortable, and she did not feel his love when he went away. Therefore, she envisions the perfect version of him, which just happens to be this horrific thing that we see. But what she sees is the perfect version of him. And I think that is so brilliant to tackle that metaphor of how you feel possessed, how one possesses you to the point of, I want out of this. I'm out the door. Genius stuff, man. I think that's fucking genius. I love that psychology. I love the metaphor of the title because people don't get that. They just go into this movie going, why the hell is it called that? And then you watch the film, and if you see these themes, and I'm sure there are plenty of people that have way different interpretations of this movie than me, and I love hearing them, man. And if people disagree with me, by all means tell me in the comments what you saw this movie as, how you saw this, because I know a lot of people don't like this movie. But man, I don't know, I just thought that was such a brilliant thing to discuss and tackle in a horror film. I just love that psychology is fantastic. The acting, I think Sam Neill does a wonderful job. Isabella Adjani, I think, definitely should have won an Oscar for this movie. I'm glad she won something. I'm glad she won the Cannes Film Festival Award because, psychologically, she was not okay after this. So I'm very glad for her. I think the director, he did a wonderful job. As a matter of fact, he was going through a divorce while he was writing this movie. And this movie, in a lot of ways, he said is like the horror movie version of his own real life divorce. So it really can hit you in all those feels because it's such a personal film to the director. And I think when the work is personal to the director, the viewer can really absorb that. You can really see, hey man, this is probably what he was feeling. This is probably what she was feeling. And I like that it's not just you feel bad for Sam Neill. I think at the same time, inadvertently, you feel bad for her. And I like that they show both sides of the coin. I'm one of those people, I really, really like gray area in my horror films. I don't really like the black and white storytelling. Give me some gray area. Make me think, make me conflicted. And this movie really does do that. I love that about this movie. So I think I've gushed over this enough. I will say this is definitely a top 10 nasty for me. A movie that sorely, sorely needs a better Blu ray release. I know they have a good Blu ray release of this, but it's limited. It's really expensive. And man, I think this needs like an Arrow. I think Arrow would kill this movie on release. I would absolutely. So, Arrow, I'm calling you out, baby. Please release this big ass special edition of this. I will buy it. I really will because I need the upgrade. This DVD, it has very bad, audio and picture quality. It is what it is, but I'm glad I at least own the film. I got this on eBay for like $10. So it's like the only way I could really get a cheap edition of it. And man, I'm glad I did because I love this movie. I'm going to come in with a perfect 10 out of 10 for this movie, Possession. Absolutely adore it. So in review, two awesome video nasties. Of course, I Spit on Your Grave an 8 out of 10. And Possession, I gave a 10 out of 10. I think these are two awesome ass horror movies. I really do. Negro precisely to definitely. Damn, that's deep. Thanks for the recommendation. Soulless Trenchcoat. I'm so glad that you watched tonight. I did not even know. I think I'm subscribed to you. I think. If not, I will after this. But thank you so much. I do appreciate you saying that. And yeah, man, definitely. If you ever give it a watch, man, hit me up, message me. I would love to hear your thoughts on it, your interpretations on it. Yeah, Arrow, man. I would love, love, love a new special edition of Possession, man. I would kill for that because even this movie looks really good on Blu-ray, and I think Possession would look stunning on Blu-ray because it's a movie that definitely had a budget. So I think that movie would look really, really good. And I don't know, I think all the shots of the Berlin Wall, and that's another thing that's a metaphor of that movie. The Berlin Wall is almost like a metaphor for their relationship. It is the Berlin Wall, if you will. I thought that was really cool. I think 30 is fair for a new Arrow release of it. They always act like it's impossible to re-release the really good horror movies. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they don't give it a shot. I would really go for that, man. I absolutely adore Arrow. I think like the Last House on the Left edition they did, I got that over there, man. That's an awesome, awesome, awesome special edition. I absolutely love it. Today is here. What's going on, babe? What's shaking? How are you? I hope all is well with you. I know we were talking before. Our sad, sad Mets got COVID, man. This is so fucking brutal. Brutal ass shit, man. But I hope all is well. I don't know if you caught any of the reviews, but man, awesome, awesome movies. I highly recommend. I think we were talking. I don't know if you've seen either, but I think Possession you'd really love. So maybe if we ever have a movie night together, we will totally watch Possession because that's a deep one for sure. I saw somebody is doing a Spit on Your Grave box set. Really? Which company? I would love to know which company, Igor. That is really, really interesting. Uh, Trench coat, hello. Oh, everybody's saying hi to each other now. So everybody's gushing in the comments. I usually go an hour on these. I mean, I guess there are a few people here. If you guys want to ask any questions for 10 minutes, I definitely would stick around for the final 10 minutes of this because I like to go an hour. I guess I only did 2 movies, so it is what it is. The horrible. I need to see Possession. Brother, I agree, man. I believe you can find it online somewhere. I mean, that's definitely probably the best bet because I know the Blu-ray edition, it goes for stupid fucking money and you have to buy it from a third-party seller. So, I mean, it is what it is. You excited for Halloween Kills? No. Are you? I fuck I don't that teaser trailer was so fucking stupid. Why would you release a teaser trailer and then tell the fans like the next day, "Oh, well, we're not going to release it till 2021 because we're a bunch of cheap bastards." Like what the fuck? Like I don't Oh my god, man. Jamie Lee, I love Jamie Lee, but man, I don't know. I'm just not into it. To me, Halloween 2, Halloween 3, Halloween 4, those are perfect Halloween movies. Those are perfect Halloween sequels. We really don't need any more of that bullshit, man. I'm not sure. Check Amazon UK for it. Okay. YouTube does have it. Yeah. So if you want to, I guarantee you the YouTube version is actually better picture quality than the one I have. It looks like shit, man. What studio released Possession? That's a good question, man. Unfortunately, I got like a Chinese release of this. I don't know if you can see how good, but yeah, it's all Chinese text and lettering. The only word that's in English is the title. I don't know. I do like that they dotted the I with a heart. I thought that was pretty fucking cool. But yeah, I don't know. This is a pretty rare edition of this, but I got it for dirt cheap. So I mean, that's cool. I want an hour release of Fright Night Part 2 on Blu-ray. Hell yeah, man. Honest to God, man, I really love Fright Night Part 2. I think it is one of the better 80s horror movie sequels. I absolutely love Regine. I thought she was a really, really good follow-up to Jerry Dandridge. Even though you don't believe them as siblings, I thought she did a good job. And of course, I actually really liked the girl that played Andy, not Andy, Jesus, Brewster's girlfriend in it. I thought she did a much better job than the girl in the original film. I really liked her. And of course, it was fun to see Peter Vincent back and the vampire bowling. Oh my God, dude. I would kill to see a special feature on like who came up with the vampire bowling and all the special effects of that. I love that movie, man. Possession is on my list now. Sounds like a good mix of psychological movie and a monster film, and that sounds awesome. Yeah, man. It is Lovecraft. If Lovecraft was in the dictionary, it is that kind of a movie, man. It's really I think it's even more complex than most Lovecraft stuff. So I mean, it is what it is. Halloween 3 Season of the Witch is my favorite horror film. Hell yeah, man. I love Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. I think everything about that movie, Tommy Lee Wallace's direction, I think Tom Atkins' acting. I really, really like the guy. I forget his damn name. I think Dan. Oh my God. What's the guy who played Colonel Cochrane's name? Is it Dan Hurley or something like that? I forget his damn name, but he does a really good job. He's a sinister son of a bitch. I love that movie. I think the music, the score, the little nursery rhyme, absolutely epic stuff, man. I'm a big, big fan of Halloween 3 too. Okay, gonna have to consider that for next Saturday. Ooh, you gonna do a live commentary of that? Also, I'm really like I said before, the Dawn of the Dead. I cannot fucking wait. That is my favorite movie of all time. Nigor, are you getting the Dawn of the Dead 4K? I have a 4K player, but I haven't gotten a 4K TV yet. So I'm building up to that. Like I really want to. So I don't know if you're going to get the set, but if you do, let me know because I'd love to know about that. You know how I feel about the Halloween movies, bro. Can't wait for Kills and Ends. I know you hated 18. Yeah, I am not excited at all. I don't care for. I hated the 18 movie inexplicably. And like what's crazy is when I first watched it, I felt average horror film. I can walk away and say average horror film at the end of the day. And I don't know, just over time, it really has not aged well for me. And the funny thing is, most people say the opposite. Most people say rewatch it, it's better. I think it's way worse, actually. I think it's aged worse than H2O. And that's actually saying something because I think H2O has aged pretty poorly. But I'll take the finale in H2O over anything in 2018. And I will say that I think David Gordon Green, while he's a decent filmmaker and I like a lot of his films, I just don't think he was the right choice. I don't. I don't. I think it was really fucking stupid to make these three movies. But I mean, I know people are eating them up, and that's at the end of the day what they want. They want money, and these movies are making money. So I guess at the end of the day, I'm glad for horror in that way. But man, I don't know. I'm just not into the movie at all. Really don't care. I don't even know if the. I'll tell you one thing, if Halloween Kills is any Last Jedi bullshit, like if you get any of that, if fucking Laurie Strode evaporates into the fucking sunset, I will fucking leave Halloween faster than I left Star Wars. I'll leave the fucking theater because after I saw that Last Jedi bullshit, I left Star Wars. I will never see episode 9. I will never, because 7 and 8 are an absolute fucking disgrace to the world, to diehard, Star Wars fans, to anybody who loved those characters in the original trilogy. I, with a passion, hate that Star Wars, that new Star Wars trilogy. I hate those movies. Halloween Kills, if it has boobs, blood, and mayhem, I'll love it. That's what I mean. I'll be down. That's what a good slasher needs. It needs on-screen fucking blood. It needs on-screen fucking kills. It needs some titties. It doesn't need fucking. I'm a fucking creepy rape boy. What the fuck? I don't need the fucking feminist statement anymore. How does that not bother people? I don't want to see it in my fucking films anymore. Halloween 2, I asked to see some big ass titties in a fucking hot tub. I got to see Bud get fucking choked. I saw that one bitch flirt with Michael, bite his hand, and get drowned and burned it at the same time. I saw the nurse get the needle stabbed in the eye. And Halloween 2018 is a better sequel? What? What the fuck? I will never get that argument. Halloween 2 is Citizen fucking Kane compared to that new movie. I will never get it. Haven't seen the sequel, but love the original. Evil Ed is awesome. Dude, absolutely love Evil Ed. And yeah, you know what's funny? Solo's Trench Coat. That's another movie that really never got its proper, release on Blu-ray or DVD. I believe it's been out of print for a long, long time. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's unfortunate, but I mean, I guess that's the way it goes. I think that whatever company released it, they had a big, big problem like with the producers or something. They were involved with a murder. It's really fucked up if you look into it. I don't know the whole story off the top of my head. Saying not excited for Halloween Kills. Yeah, fuck that shit. I'm good. I don't think so. On the Dungeon set, if the Martin set gets a release, I'll grab that. Dude, I can't wait for the Martin set. That's another one. I have the VHS. No, I have a DVD-R of it. It looks like shit, but man, I absolutely love the Martin movie, man. I'm a huge fan of George Romero's Martin, and I would love to see that if that gets a 4K release, I'll shit my pants and probably cream my pants at the same time. That'd be amazing. I was okay with 2018. It was interesting, but pretty forgettable for me. Yeah, definitely, man. No Way Too Close. Close to H2O. That's one of my favorites. Jamie is so badass. I like H2O way better than the new one, for sure. I wouldn't say it's a disgrace, but I get what you mean. Luke's arc could have been handled better. I didn't like the idea that they were saying that anybody could be a Jedi. I didn't like that because for the first 6 movies, it was always you need to be trained, you need to be a certain type of person. I know people make fun of me and go, "Oh, midichlorians, fuck that shit." No, like I'm not saying that. I'm trying to say is that like not just anybody could fucking walk off the street and become a fucking Jedi. All right. Like to me, the reason I watch those movies, it's like, oh man, certain people are Jedi, certain people are not. It's the same thing. You watch wrestling. There are some wrestlers that could do some crazy stuff that make you go, wow, I could never do that. And to say that everybody could do it, I don't know. It just really hurt I don't know. I hated that aspect of it. And I really thought it was weak that the movie starts with we want you to come back, we want to recruit you. Luke that never leaves that planet. He like I guess teleports himself. The force ghost of I don't know. He gets there and doesn't battle him in a saber duel. Instead, he distracts them so they get out the back door and then evaporates it. Like what? I don't know. I felt it was very poorly done. I listen. Hey, I don't mean to shit on anyone's opinion. Like if you liked it, all the power to you. It just wasn't my cup of tea. It really was not my type of film. Yeah, Nate gets a kick out of making me go crazy. All you have to do is ask me about Creepshow 3 or fucking Halloween 2018, and then you know I'm just gonna get pissed. Gate 2 is bad, but also I can't stop watching it when it's on TV. I absolutely love the Gate 2. It's a fucking classically bad one for sure. I love that, man. That's a really underrated one for sure. What's up, man? Yeah, involved in a murder. Yeah, they oh God, I wish I knew the whole story, but yeah, they were involved somehow, some way, shape, or form with that. It was really crazy shit. I don't know exactly the full story. Bruiser needs a Blu-ray. Man, that's one Romero film that like it's a guilty pleasure. I actually really like the film, but man, people fucking make fun of me. I mean, it is what it is. So Ben Grimm says howdy. Mother of Tears needs a Blu-ray. I can't believe Dracula 3D. Yeah, that's a good fucking point. I still have the Dimension Extreme DVD of that, the unrated DVD. When the fuck is that going to come out in, HD? Like, that's crazy that that movie has not gotten a Blu-ray release in the States. That's absolutely fucking stupid. Well, in the original trilogy, anyone could technically become a Jedi, but yeah, I agree. It takes intense training, and not everyone has the will and patience to become one. And yes, Ray did master it too easily. I agree there. Yeah, definitely. I don't know. And a lot of things, with the Ray character, and I know I've heard some spoilers where the Emperor is related to her, and that's why the Force comes so natural to her. I know a lot of people argue when I say that Ray was a little bit overpowered, I felt, and I felt that really hurt those new movies because I always say this argument. The heroes that in the first six Star Wars, they sell, man. Luke Skywalker gets his ass kicked in episode 5. He gets his arm fucking chopped off. Same with Anakin in Attack of the Clones. He gets his ass kicked. He gets his arm chopped off. Her, not enough. No cell, nothing to overcome. To me, she's a Superman without a kryptonite. And a lot of people go, "Oh well, what are we supposed to do with our young women that want to look up to people?" I have no problem with her being a female. I just think that every superhero needs to have a kryptonite. Every superhero needs to fucking sell. Like in the original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, he gets his fucking ass kicked towards the end by the Green Goblin. I offered you friendship and you spat in my face. Boom, punching him, breaking through the webs, kicking the living hell out of him. Every hero needs that. Ray never ever gets that, and that unless it happens in the ninth film, and I didn't hear about it. But as far as I'm aware, that doesn't happen. I just think she needed to sell. I think she needed to say, "Hey, there is a vulnerability factor in me." This way, we are all behind her when she does overcome the big bad Krylo Ren, as I call him. That's all I think. I'm just a big psychology guy. Like I like to look at it through that kind of lens. And I know a lot of people just they don't agree. So that's perfectly fine if people don't. But I don't know. That was just my main problem. I felt she was a little too overpowered. I thought your villain didn't have much credibility. I really didn't like Krylo Ren. I don't like the actor either. I don't think Adam Driver's good, even though people fucking love him. I don't know. I'm just not on that boat at all. So is what it is. Not my cup of tea, but is what it is at the end of the day. Um, Solo Transco. Ray is a little overpowered. It would have been better if she was a villain and Kylo became the hero. I still had fun with what they did. That would have been cool. That would have been really cool if they did a double turn. I think that would have been better, actually. Like, okay, if you're not going to make her vulnerable, make her a fucking evil, unbeatable villain. That would be something you could run with, something different. Yes, that scene's fun. Yes, I love that scene at the end of Spider-Man. Defoe is so good, and MJ and I, gonna have a hell of a time. I fucking ever since I was a little kid, pop for that scene every time. That line is so much fun. It's straight out of a comic book, and I love in the second one, the Doc Ock. You've spun your web in my business for the last time. Like I love it, man. Some of those Sam Raimi movies, the Spider-Man movies, are so much fucking fun, man. And they really truly are. Are you tired of Star Wars and superhero films? I'm definitely tired of Star Wars because it's just once Disney got it, it just felt so oversaturated. Like we're gonna release one every year, and to make sure that we don't do episode 7, 8, 9 all year in a row, we're gonna do individual films like Solo and possibly Kenobi and no. Shut the fuck up. No. I wasn't interested in that when it started. I was interested to see what the fuck they were going to do with 7. I went to the theater that night very excited to see 7. And I left fucking pissed. I was furious actually. And I said, "You know what? Maybe just maybe they'll get this better. They're replacing J.J. Abrams for the next one. Maybe just maybe they'll figure this out." And I thought The Last Jedi was even worse. I thought it had even made even less sense. Just a total. I don't. like either one of those movies. And people ask me if I watched The Mandalorian. I don't know. I don't care to. I heard it's good. I know Jon Favreau is fantastic. I'm sure it's good. I just am in that Star Wars oversaturation point. So yeah, I am tired of it. Superhero films, yeah, because they blew their fucking load. They really did blow their load. Like, it's enough with the fucking superhero films. Oh, well, we're going to make all these fucking Avengers and then the Avengers films and then the spin-offs and then, Thor, the Natalie Portman character from Thor, she's getting her own movie. What the fuck? She wasn't even in any of them past Thor 2. She wasn't in any of the they could. I'm too big for the fucking Avengers unless I get my own fucking movie. Fuck you. What the fuck? What you fucking just decided to take like 10 years off of acting in that universe and now you're back because they handed you the literal fucking torch, aka the little hammer? Go fucking hit yourself in the fucking face with it, bitch. That's fucked up, man. I'm too big for Infinity War. I'm too big for Endgame. But if you give me my own fucking movie and female power, I'll take the fucking hammer and I'll beat some men up with it. What the fuck, man? That's fucking bullshit, in my opinion. So yeah, that's a long story short. What are my thoughts on the Conjuring universe? Honestly, I love both Conjuring films, especially the first one. I think the first Conjuring is a wonderful throwback to what great haunted house movies of the 70s were, just like Burnt Offerings, just like House from, Japan. I absolutely love that stuff. Absolutely loved it. So I think those two movies were really, really well done. Annabelle was the beginning of the end for it because that was a spin-off and they ruined that character. And I'll tell you why they ruined that character. That character only worked as a side mention. That only worked as a this thing is fucking scary. And presenting it at the beginning of the first Conjuring. That's why that was effective. That's why it worked. It was because it was so effective and simple. Making the whole movie around it, it fucking crashed and burned because you don't need to know the mythos. And then they fucked up so badly, they said, why not make a prequel and we're going to try to undo everything? And it was all wrong. It really was. They absolutely botched the whole idea for that universe with that Annabelle movie. And the Nun, no fucking thing. None of my fucking business, pun intended there. You know, La Curse of La Lorena looked decent, but at the end of the day, really, really, I don't know. I couldn't imagine. Um, just they're weak. They really are. They're not. There's no steam left. They're trying to milk a cash cow that is only going to be there for movies called The Conjuring. Not universe. This is not fucking the Avengers. This is not Captain America, the first Avenger. Spider-Man. Shut the fuck up. This is not, it doesn't have that mainstream appeal. Horror fans aren't fucking jacking off to shit like that. They're not. That's not what they want to see. They want to see some fucking good fucking horror. They want to see either atmospheric, like the shit that A24 is doing, or they want to see some good ass slasher movies, which we're not getting unless it's called Halloween for some reason. I don't know, because it shows Spider-Man's pure will to save his friends and family. It makes him win so deep and badass. Yeah, I love Tobey, the psychology behind the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. I think it's really, really well done. I want more one-offs. See, I would have been fine with one-offs. I would have been fine with that. But making a new trilogy and then what they did with it, wasn't a fan. I liked, of all those movies, of all those 5 movies that came out, Rogue One was the best, easily. I agree with you. I will never be tired of superhero films. I eat it like shit, oatmeal, haha, but I see your point. Yeah. Oh, I'm done, Nate. Oh, sorry, Nate. I maybe went too far. I don't know. I can't breathe. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. You go, Portman. Yo, you know what? I think that's lame. I'm sorry. Like, listen, I love her as an actress. She's a beautiful woman. But can somebody other than me fucking raise your hand and call bullshit on that? She didn't bother to show up. I don't even think she's in Age of Ultron. That's fucking stupid, dude. Like, why? Like, are you that busy making? I don't believe that for 2 seconds. I think personally that she said, if I'm not going to be the fucking star, I'm out. And I think that's pretty fucking prima donna, and I think it's pretty lame. I don't know. I'll call a spade a spade. I love Natalie Portman, the professional. I love Natalie Portman in the fucking Star Wars prequel. So there, I do love Natalie. I'm not trying to shit on Natalie, but honestly, that's fucked up, bitch. I'll call a spade a spade. I'm not afraid. Blumhouse? You mean Blumpkin? I mean, fuck him, man. He fucking stinks. He fucking moron. Let me produce fucking Truth or Dare. Let me produce Fantasy Island. Let me produce Black Christmas 2019. Feminism goes wild, brother. Where's the Hulkster when you need him? Holy shit. Fuck you. I can't stand Blumhouse, man. It stinks. Conjuring 2 are the best. Yeah, I like the two Conjurings the best. Love Burnt Offerings, fantastic. One of my favorite. They make a ton of money though. I mean, I think though my problem with it is, and I know they are financially successful. I'm not denying that, but at the same day, I think the thing is with those advertising as a universe. I don't think horror movie fans want universes. Like personally, I think we're a sequel crowd. We want to see how Freddy's going to come back from this. We want to see how Jason gets up from the bottom of the lake and who's going to kill next. We're sequel people. We're not fucking this character and that character and let's it's all in the same world and all this shit. We're not that type of crowd, man. I don't think we are, personally. If you guys disagree and you want to see it all connected, you want to see Chucky be in the same universe as the Leprechaun and this and that and the other thing, I mean, all right, but I don't know. I'm just not on that hype train. I'm not. I don't. That's to me the uber geeks, like the diehard, like Marvel, DC, whatever. Like the uber geeks want to see that for their superhero movies. That crowd wants that universe. The horror crowd, I'll just speak for myself. I don't want that shit. I am not interested in it. Never was, never will be. Curse of Macarena. Hey, Macarena. Yeah, that would be fucking hilarious. The La La Reina movie they put on Shudder is good. Check that one out. Okay, cool recommendation. R.L. Stein's Haunting Hour episode is better. Wow, that's actually wow. Holy shit. Solo is garbage. Yeah, Solo is a fucking steaming piece of shit. Somehow that Ron Howard directed. I don't like her in most roles. I like her in Black Swan. I like her. I think that's so fucking stupid that she fucking decided like I'm better than these Avengers movies. Like Scarlett Johansson is in all of them, and she never got her own movie until after the fact. So I respect the fuck out of Scarlett Johansson, and I do think it's bullshit. I think Scarlett Johansson's character deserved her own film. I really do. Natalie Portman's fucking. You kidding me? That bitch doesn't deserve her own movie. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It doesn't like okay, Black Swan's awesome. She has a fucking awesome lesbian scissoring scene with Mila Kunis, and I enjoyed the fuck out of that. That was a great movie. If fucking Thor girl or whatever the fuck they're gonna call that, if that doesn't have a lesbian scissoring scene, I don't want to see that shit. Okay, I don't want to. I'm a big fucking Thor guy. I don't need to see his bitch swinging around a fucking hammer. I don't need to see it. I'm done. I don't need to see that bitch. Nah, she's not even in the second one. That's fucking wild. I'm sorry. If that doesn't spell out the word bitch, I don't know. I don't know what would. I don't know. Blumhouse did get out though. Okay. I can't really say I give him the most credit for the best or better horror movies that he's produced because while he produced Lords of Salem, that's a Rob Zombie joint. While he produced movies like Get Out, that's Jordan Peele's baby. And I think that he puts his names on stuff and yeah, at the end of the day, a lot of those movies will make money, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a fan of him. I know it's the whole thing when people give the whole Roger Corman argument. Well, Roger Corman put a lot of his names on. I get that. I don't know. Most of them, they're very fucking formulaic and I think they're garbage personally. Truth or Dare was see, yeah, another one, very fucking formulaic. Like those are to me the movies that come to mind when I think Blumhouse. It's the generic ones. It's not the ones that are all that much more to me. I'm sorry. I'm just very blunt. I come off very blunt. I don't mean to. Well, actually, no. I guess I do. She was good as Von Lux. No one saw it though. I've actually not seen that either. They actually said there will be a lesbian scissoring scene in the new Thor. All right. Well, Nigor, I don't know, man. I'm gonna reserve my ticket now. If you want to join me in the theater, we'll bring lotion together. I'll get some popcorn for us. Mountain Dew, good for you. I mean, I'm good with Dew. I love me some Mountain Dew. Should become store in the comments. I will admit I'm not a big comic fan of Thor. I've never read a Thor comic in my life, but it's just to me, my point of what I'm saying is you were fucking not in the last however many movies, and now your only reason you're coming back is they're giving you your own fucking film. I think that's lame. I think with Scarlett Johansson, I think it was disrespectful to Jarvis, actually, that she had to wait until after the fucking Endgame movie to get a prequel movie. That's absolutely lame, I think, personally. But Natalie Portman, no, she could take off for fucking 7 years, and no, that's fine, man. I think that's lame, personally. I just think it was lame how she did it. That's personally what I mean. Fantasy Island, yeah. Those are the movies you think of when you think Blumhouse. You don't think of those other movies, to me. And plus, her mention in Ultron is she broke up with Thor. And plus, Thor is still alive, so why? Just do Iron Man's daughter, that would be more natural. That would be something. I am with you, good brother. I think it would be more cool to an up and coming actress who isn't already fucking established. Let's make a new star. Let's do that. No, instead we're gonna bring back 7 years later. This bitch hasn't been in any of these fucking movies. Now she's front and center. That's such a middle fucking finger to me. I don't know. That doesn't sit well with me. You're a cola guy. We'll talk. All right, we'll talk. Cherry Coke. I mean, I like some cherry cola. Good brother. Wasn't she Catwoman? Who? Natalie Portman, you mean? I don't think Natalie Portman was. I know Anne Hathaway was Catwoman, and so was Michelle Pfeiffer, and so was the legendary. Oh my God, what's her damn name? Julie Newmar. Uh, Gotta love Julie Newmar. She's probably my favorite Catwoman. You have to go see Pee Wee theaters. The Pee Wee theaters. Yo, why not? Hell yeah, Corey, Coca Cola all the way. Yo, love me some Coca Cola. All right, so I guess you guys got me to rant and rave way longer than I thought I was gonna. Yeah, I'm going to bed too, AJ. This is good night to you, good brother. Thank you so much for watching. Too sweet, my friend. Yeah, Halle Berry was in the Catwoman movie. That's correct. That was a big piece of shit too. Alrighty though. So thank you all so much. It was really fun shooting the shit for you guys with you guys for the last like 25 minutes of this, and of course talking all things video nasties. I'm glad the comments were caught up to speed this time. I know the last commentary I did down there, the comments were all backed up, so I'm sorry about that. But everybody, thank you so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. I hope everybody has a wonderful Friday. Everybody has a wonderful weekend. This is always fun shooting the shit, talking horror. It's always the highlight of my week because the people that support me and watch are just so cool and kind. And, it's humbling. It's a humbling community to be a part of. I know I'm not a big, Uber, subscriber guy, but it is nice to know that people do watch and people do support and all that good stuff. So I do really appreciate that, man. Heart goes out to all of you. So much respect. Too sweet to all of you guys. Good night, Nate. Thank you so much for staying the whole time. I really do appreciate it, my friend. All righty, though. That is going to be it for the graveyard tonight. Thank you all for watching. As for next week, I don't know what I'm going to be talking about next week. It's kind of up in the air right now. But is what it is. I'll figure out. I'll cook it up or something, but we'll come up with something pretty good. Yo, Aiden, too sweet, good brother. Thank you so much for joining. Be good, my friend. Have a wonderful weekend. All right, guys. I am out. The Pajama Pants player. Too sweet. Peace. I'll see you all next time. Only